What makes a great leader? Charisma, vision, intelligence? These are qualities we often admire in leaders, but what happens when these same qualities are used for something darker? History is full of leaders who didn't just rule with power, they ruled with psychology. They knew how to manipulate, control, and influence people on a mass scale. Power isn't just about armies, wealth, or politics. Real power is psychological. The most dangerous leaders of our time don't just control governments or corporations, they control minds. Some of these names, people hesitate to say out loud, but today we're breaking that silence. First on the list is Vladimir Putin, the #1 man in Russia. If there's one leader who understands fear better than anyone, it's Vladimir Putin. A former KGB officer, Putin doesn't just rule Russia, he psychologically dominates it. His strategy? Keep the people afraid, keep the opposition confused, and keep the world guessing. Putin uses a variety of psychological tactics to maintain control. Gaslighting a nation, Russian state media constantly changes the story, making people doubt what's real. Creating an image of power, staged photos of him shirtless, playing hockey or riding horses, all help build the idea of an unstoppable leader. Fear to control, journalists and critics who speak out often disappear, get poisoned, or end up in jail. Putin's biggest mind game is the what's real strategy. He spreads conflicting stories so that people stop trusting anything. When people can't trust what's real, it's easier for him to control them. That's exactly what he wants. Next one on the list is Xi Jinping, the president of China. In China, control isn't just political, it's digital. Xi Jinping has turned China into the world's first AI-powered dictatorship. The social credit system gives people scores based on how they behave, rewarding those who follow the rules and punishing those who go against the state. The Chinese Communist Party controls information, changing history to hide things that are inconvenient. There are cameras everywhere, constantly watching people, making them censor themselves because of fear. By making people afraid of being watched, Xi Jinping doesn't just rule through fear, he controls the reality they live in. Now let's talk about a man people hesitate to criticize. Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. At first, he seemed like a reformer, letting women drive and opening up tourism. But behind the scenes, it's different. He's used propaganda to make himself look modern, while secretly silencing critics. The killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi wasn't just a murder, it was a message. Speak against me and this is what happens. Mohammed bin Salman is changing authoritarian rule, not through war, but with wealth and psychological control. Not all dangerous leaders wear military uniforms, some build empires in cyberspace. Facebook has control over the data of over 3 billion people, nearly half the world. That's a massive collection of psychological profiles in one place. The platform uses powerful tricks to influence its users. One key strategy is addiction. Facebook's algorithms are designed to manipulate dopamine, making social media as addictive as a drug. It also spreads fear and division, letting hate and anger travel faster than the truth. Facebook has even been linked to election manipulation, from the Cambridge Analytica scandal to spreading false political news. While leaders like Putin, Xi, and MBS control people physically, Zuckerberg controls their minds, shaping what we see, believe, and feel every day. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has built one of the most powerful systems of psychological control in democratic history. Through huge rallies with nationalist slogans and protests against his government, he's used mind-manipulating tactics to influence the country's politics. Modi's biggest weapon is his digital army. His party, the BJP, runs an online network that spreads fake news, attacks critics, and shapes public opinion. He also pushes Hindu nationalism, creating an us versus them mindset and presenting himself as the protector of Hindu identity. On top of that, he controls the media. Journalists who speak out against corruption often get arrested, attacked, or silenced. Even worse, some independent reporters and news outlets have mysteriously disappeared or faced violence for their work. If there's one place on Earth where mind control is total, it's North Korea, and at the center of it all is Kim Jong-un. Through huge military parades, citizens crying during his speeches, and endless propaganda posters, he keeps his people under his thumb. Kim uses a total information blackout, meaning no internet or outside news. North Koreans only hear what Kim lets them hear. He's built a cult of personality, making himself seem like a god, with statues, paintings, and even fake stories about his birth. One of the most shocking things he does is punish entire families for one person's mistake, so everyone lives in constant fear. For example, one family was sent to a labor camp for 3 generations because one member was caught watching a South Korean TV show. Elon Musk is known as a genius. He's behind groundbreaking companies like Tesla and SpaceX. But some of his actions raise questions about how much control he really has over his followers and the world. One thing Musk uses is the Messiah complex, where he presents himself as the savior of humanity, solving big problems like climate change with Tesla and helping humanity reach Mars with SpaceX. This makes many people look up to him and follow him without question. Another way he manipulates is through tweets. Musk has the power to move the stock market with just a single tweet. For example, when he tweeted that Tesla's stock price was too high, the value of the company dropped by billions in just a few minutes. His words have the power to make or break markets. Then there's Neuralink, his company that aims to put chips in human brains. While this could help treat diseases like Alzheimer's or paralysis, it also raises serious questions about control. If someone could control your thoughts or actions, where do we draw the line? Is Musk a real visionary who will guide us to a better future? Or is he building a mind control system that shapes how we think and act? It's tough to tell, but his impact is clear. Whether you love him or hate him, Donald Trump is a master at manipulating people's minds. From his huge rallies to his tweets and even the chaos of the January 6th Capitol riot, Trump has shown an incredible ability to influence his supporters. One of his main techniques is the repetition trick. He repeats words and phrases like fake news and witch hunt so many times that they start to feel like the truth even when they're not. By saying things over and over, he creates a reality in his supporters' minds that feels real no matter what the facts say. Trump also knows how to trigger emotions. He uses anger and loyalty to keep his followers energized and united. At his rallies, people chant his phrases like they're part of a movement, making them feel deeply connected to him and his ideas. Another powerful tactic Trump uses is creating alternative facts. He doesn't just spin the truth, he makes his own version of reality, convincing his supporters to believe things even when they're clearly false. Are we truly free, or are we just being led to believe we are? As we've seen, today's most powerful leaders don't just rule with force, they control minds. The real question is, how much control is too much, and what happens when we let these tactics run the world? If this video opened your eyes, like, subscribe, and share, because awareness is power.